Good afternoon. This is Kent with Kent's Sports Replays coming to you on this Tuesday afternoon on July the 14th, 2026. We're going to be continuing in the replay of my 1972 Major League Baseball season featuring the Pittsburgh Pirates and watching the season of Roberto Clemente, his final season before his tragic death. And we're in a May 9th game. There's been about 18 games played in the season, some more than others. And it's going to be a game in Atlanta at Atlanta Stadium. I think in 72 it was just Atlanta Stadium. I don't know if it was Fulton County Stadium yet, but that's our game for today. And so let's go to the game screen. Move me down in the corner there. In this 1972 replay, we're looking at the standings so far, and by and far the best team in the Major League season so far is Houston, who are 14-4 and crazy runs scored against run against of plus 33, 105 runs scored in 18 games. That comes to almost 6 runs a game. You can see they're pacing well ahead of anyone else. The closest in runs scored is Cincinnati, but you can see their runs against, they're a -1. That plus 33 is the reason they're sitting atop the league at 14-4. And the Dodgers 12-9 with a plus 33 differential. But my Pittsburgh Pirates are currently at 9-9 and are 2 games back of the National League East leading Montreal Expos. Tight race in the NL East. As you can see, from first to last, there's only a 3.5 game difference. But it's real early in the season. As you can see, the Astros have played 18 games and the Pirates are sitting at 16 games. They're 2 games back of first place and currently sitting in the 5th spot out of 6. But again, it's early in the season. And playing with Roberto Clemente, he is so far in this season, he is second in batting average with a .451 average. So Clemente is having a good run at it. And we're just going to continue in this season in these games. May 9th, 1972, you can see in this left corner, we have the Pirates at 9-9 visiting Atlanta, who are 8-13. So we're going to resume this game. I've already loaded it up. And so it's the top of the first. And let's go ahead and look at the lineup for the Pittsburgh Pirates over here to the left of the screen. Leading off and playing second base is Dave Cash with a .259 average. In center field and batting second, Al Oliver. In the third spot in right field is Roberto Clemente, our featured player, batting at a crisp .451. Batting in a cleanup spot in left field is Willie Stargell, batting .292. In the 5th spot at third base is Richie Hebner, batting .311. Catcher Manny Sanguillen is batting in the 6th spot, batting .296. In the 7th spot, first baseman, I believe that's Bob Robertson. Let me make sure. Yep, Bob Robertson at .294. At shortstop is Gene Alley, batting .194. And then you have Doc Ellis will be your pitcher, hitting off hitting card number 5. As you can see, a lot of great batting averages so far early in this season. The only one that's mediocre is Gene Alley, and so they've hit the ball well. Their pitching has been a little suspect at times. On the mound for the Atlanta Braves is Tom Kelly, the right-hander. The right-hander in 1972 had a 5-7 record with a 4.56 ERA, striking out 59 but walking 65, and that's not always a good thing to have, with your walks being higher than your strikeouts and allowing 12 home runs. So Tom Kelly on the mound as Dave Cash comes to the plate. Earl Williams gives the signal. So let's start this game. The pitcher's role is in play. And let's take a look at his card, Tom Kelly's card. You can see he's got a ballpark and a wheelhouse at 10 and 12, and patient rolls at 8 and 9. He only has tough rolls at 5 and 7. So that roll of 6 is an in-play roll. In play 23, and that's going to be a leadoff single by Dave Cash that drops it in front of Mike Lum in right field for a leadoff single, and that brings up Al Oliver. Al Oliver batting 371 in this replay. He batted 312 in the regular season. Dave Cash does not run well. Now he runs decently, but we're not going to lay down a bunt. I was thinking about bunting, but we're just going to swing away. And it's a tough roll this time. That tough roll of 53 is a ground ball to third. See if they can turn 2. Double play check. It's going to be anything 6 or lower, and this is a double play, and they turn it a 5-4-3 around the horn double play by the Atlanta Braves, and that leaves Roberto Clemente looking at clean base path as he comes to the plate. Clemente again batting .451 with a home run and 12 RBIs. Kelly into the windup and the pitch. It's another in-play roll of 81, and that's just a deep fly ball into center field, but Ralph Garr settles underneath it for out number 3, and that's 3 up and 3 down as we go to the bottom of the first here in Atlanta. And on the mound for Pittsburgh is Doc Ellis. Doc Ellis with a 2.11 ERA and 11 strikeouts while allowing 6 walks. In the 72 season, he was 15 and 7 with a 2.70 ERA. So pretty good pitching from Ellis. Lineup for the Atlanta Braves, leading off, playing second base, is Felix Millan, batting .230. In center field is Ralph Garr, batting .292 in the second spot. In left field, Rico Carty, batting .364. Cleaning up, playing first base, is Orlando Cepeda, batting .400. Batting in the fifth spot and catching is Earl Williams. Batting in the sixth spot, Darrell Evans, playing third base. Batting in the seventh spot, right fielder Mike Lum, batting .128. Batting in the eighth spot is Marty Perez, shortstop, batting .240. And on the mound and batting in the ninth spot and hitting with pitcher hitting card 3 is Tom Kelly. Doc Ellis with Milan stepping to the plate, goes into his windup and the pitch. It's an in-play roll of 75, and that's just a fly ball to center field. Al Oliver settles underneath it for out number 1. 1 down for Ralph Garr. Garr again, batting .292 with 2 home runs in this replay. Batted .324 and 11 home runs in real life. Garr gets the pitch. It's another in-play roll of 57, and that's a ground ball to third. Richie Hebner up with it, fires it over to first to Bob Robertson for the 5-3 putout. And out number 2. 2 up and 2 down for Rico Carty. Carty swinging a hot bat so far earlier in the season with a .364 average and 2 home runs, well above his .275 average in 1972. Rico Carty stepping to the plate. Ellis into his windup. He gets a tough roll of 30 and him out. Goes down swinging. First strikeout for Ellis, and 3 up and 3 down. And we go to the second inning, scoreless here in Atlanta. That brings up Willie Stargell. Stargell batting .292 with 5 home runs. He batted .293 with 33 home runs in 1972. You don't want to leave one up in the strike zone for Stargell as he gets a tough roll of 94, and that's just a fly ball pulled into right field. Lum to the warning track, but not deep enough for out number 1. Just a long F9, and that brings up Richie Hebner. Hebner on the season batted 300. In this replay, batting 311. Here's the pitch to Hebner. Another tough roll of 60. Fly ball this time slapped into left field, but Rico Carty on his bicycle gets to it quickly for out number 2. 2 up and 2 down as Manny Sanguin comes to the plate. Sanguin batting 296 in this replay. Here's the pitch to Sanguin. It's going to be a tough roll of 50. That's just a ground ball to Cepeda at first. Ground ball easily played. Tags the bag himself for the 3 unassisted. And 3 up and 3 down. And we go to the bottom of the second. Still scoreless here in Atlanta Stadium. And Orlando Cepeda coming to the plate. Batting 400 in this replay. He batted 298 in the real world. Here's the pitch to Cepeda. That's a patient 71, and that's just a fly ball into right field. Clemente easily underneath it for out number 1. And that'll bring up Earl Williams, batting 253 in this replay. Here's the pitch from Ellis. It's an in-play roll of 27, and Earl Williams drops one in front of Clemente in right field, and that's a 1-out single by Earl Williams. That brings Darrell Evans to the plate. Evans batting 210. Pretty sure that's probably well below his average. Yeah, he batted 255, so 45 points under his regular season average as Darrell Evans Doc Ellis into his windup. It's another tough roll of 83, and that's just a fly ball into center field. Not deep enough to have Earl Williams running. And so 2 down, runner on first, and Mike Lum coming to the plate. He's hitting an anemic 128. He batted 225 in the real world. So Lum looks to get his bat active as he gets an in-play roll of 40, and that's just a pop-up behind the third baseline. As you can see, his in play, 1 to 29, he gets a hit. And that 39 is just outside of it, or that 40, excuse me. So that's a pop-up down the third base line. Hebner into foul territory, makes the play easily for out number 3. And we go to the third inning. It's still scoreless here in Atlanta. Bob Robertson coming to the plate, batting 294. Batted 193 in the real world, so batting 100 points above his average. Robertson gets the pitch. It's a tough 41, and that'll be the first strikeout rung up for Kelly. Robertson goes down swinging. That's going to bring up Gene Alley. Gene Alley batted 248 in the real world. Let's see what he can do with this pitch from Kelly. Oh, it's in his wheelhouse. Let's take a look at his wheelhouse. Against right-handed pitching, 1 to 14, and it's a home run. 1 to 49, and he's got a hit. That roll of 10, Gene Alley gets a fat one served up to him, and he drops it into the bleachers as Gene Alley rounds the plate. Gene Alley back as he heads to the plate. Ellis now with a 1-0 lead. Here comes the pitch from Kelly. It's another wheelhouse. So we got a 1 to 23 chance for a hit, no chance for a home run. And at 0-3, he hits a double. So Kelly is shook up after that home run, leaves one up for Doc Ellis, who one hops the wall between Gar and Lum. And we've got something going here in the top of the third as Dave Cash comes back to the plate. He singled his first time up. Doc Ellis takes a slight lead. Here's the pitch to Cash. And that's going to be a tough 63, and that's just a fly ball into right field. Lum settles underneath it for out number 2, and Ellis will not be running. But now Al Oliver back to the plate, 0 for 1 on the day. Hit into a double play his first time up. Oliver gets the offering from Kelly. It's a patient 24, and Al Oliver slaps one down the right field line. It's bouncing around in the corner, and he is safely sliding into third as Lum could not get it in. And Al Oliver is now safely standing on third with a 2-out RBI scoring triple. And now it's 2-0 Pittsburgh as we are still into third. And Roberto Clemente coming to the plate. Clemente flew out his last time up. Here's the pitch to Clemente. It's going to be a patient 44, and that's just a pop-up down the first baseline. Orlando Cepeda drifting into foul territory for out number 3, but not before 2 runs come across. And we go to the bottom of the third with the Pittsburgh Pirates leading 2-0. Marty Perez coming to the plate. Perez batting 240 in this replay, batted 228, so slightly above his 72 average. Perez gets the offering. It's going to be a tough roll of 80, and that's just a fly ball, shallow fly ball into center field as Al Oliver settles underneath it for out number 1. And that brings up the pitcher, Tom Kelly. He's just going to swing away. Here's the pitch to Kelly. It's a tough 37, and looking on that card, it could be anything but a strikeout, 1-99 chance. And that's going to be the second K for Doc Ellis as Felix Milan steps back to the plate. Flew out to center field his first time up. Ellis into his windup, and the pitch. It's an in-play roll of 92, and that's just a fly ball into left field. Willie Stargell ranges over slightly to his left and makes the play for out number 3. We go to the fourth with the Pittsburgh Pirates leading 2-0. Coming to the plate, Willie Stargell. Stargell, his first plate appearance, he flew out to right field. Stargell gets the offering from Kelly. It's going to be a tough roll of 56, and you can see from 1 to 66, Willie Stargell strikes out as he gets him with the curveball. The old yacker. Kelly, his second strikeout of the game. As Richie Hebner comes back to the plate. 0 for 1 on the day as Hebner. Here's the pitch to Hebner. It's another tough roll of 62, and that's the fly ball into left field. Rico Carty settles underneath it for out number 2. 2 up and 2 down for Manny Sanguillen. Sanguillen 0 for 1 on the day. As Kelly looks to get out of this inning unscathed. He gets a patient roll of 63. And that's just a fly ball into right field. It's in the out column. Mike Lum settles underneath it. 3 up and 3 down. So he gets out of the inning unscathed. And we go to the bottom of the fourth with the Pittsburgh Pirates 2 and the Atlanta Braves 0. Ralph Garr coming to the plate. 0 for 1 on the day is Garr. Here's the pitch to Garr. It's a tough 67, and that's a fly ball into left field. Willie Stargell squeezes for out number 1, and that brings up Rico Carty. 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout. Doc Ellis into his windup, and the pitch. It's another tough roll of 26, and Rico Carty goes down swinging again. 2 up and 2 down. Orlando Cepeda coming to the plate. 0 for 1 on the day is Cepeda. Here's the pitch to Orlando. It's another tough roll of 53. And what do we have? Swing and a miss. And we go to the 5th inning with the Pittsburgh Pirates up 2-0. Bob Robertson coming to the plate. 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout. Here's the pitch from Kelly. Another tough roll of 18, and Robertson goes down whiff for out number 1. That'll be the 3rd strikeout for Tom Kelly. Gene Alley, 1 for 1 on the day with an RBI. Here comes the pitch. Another tough roll of 58, and that's just a ground ball to third. Darrell Evans up with it, fires it over to Cepeda for the 5-3 put out and out number 2. And that brings up Doc Ellis, who doubled his last time up. So Tom Kelly, not wanting a repeat of that, gets a tough roll of 17. And the strikeouts are coming here in the 5th. The 4th strikeout for Kelly, as that will take us to the bottom of the 5th. Pittsburgh up 2-0. Doc Ellis eyeing Earl Williams as Earl Williams steps up. Here's the pitch. The patient 46, and Williams drops one in the gap over Cash's head for a leadoff single. That brings up Darrell Evans. We're going here. Let's try to lay down a bunt. I can't coach them. That's right. The computer would have to do that. So no bunt being laid down. It's going to be a tough roll of 67, and that's a ground ball too short. Will they turn 2? It is a DP check of 6 and under, and they'll turn 2, and they do. It's the 4-6-3 double play. They had it as a 6-4-3, but I believe it was a 4-6-3. So clear the base paths, and Mike Lum coming to the plate. Lum gets the offering from Ellis. It's going to be a ballpark roll. Let's take a look at the ballpark. Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. Lum's a left-handed batter, so 1-86 on both sides is wheelhouse. So it doesn't matter. Roll 49. It is his wheelhouse. Lum against right-handed pitching, 1-30, and he hits it out of here, and he does. Lum gets a fat one from Doc Ellis, and home run Mike Lum, and he's cut the lead now in half. It's a 2-1 ball game here in the bottom of the 5th, and Marty Perez coming to the plate. Perez gets an in-play roll of 93, and that's just a fly ball into left field. That'll be out number 3, but not before a run comes across on a blast into the seats, and Mike Lum, with that low batting average, got it done. And we go to the 6th, 2-1, Pittsburgh. Dave Cash leading off, back to the top of the lineup, for Kelly. Kelly goes into his windup, and his pitch is an in-play roll of 81. Fly ball into center field. Ralph Garr settles underneath it, squeezes it. Can of corn, out number 1. And that brings up Al Oliver. Oliver, 1 for 2 on the day with a triple and an RBI. Oliver gets the pitch, and that's just a ground ball to second. Felix Milan over to Cepeda for the 4-3 put out, and out number 2, 2 up and 2 down here in the top of the 6th. Roberto Clemente 0 for 2 on the day. Can he get his bat going now? And he just pops it up behind the second base, and drifting over is Gene. I believe that is Gene Kelly. Excuse me, no. He's a dancer. But that was out number 3 with the pop-up behind the second base. Now Tom Kelly coming to the plate. Doc Ellis into the windup, and the pitch to Kelly. It's tough. That's going to be a strikeout. When you got a 1-99 strikeout, you get a tough roll, you're striking out. 5th strikeout issued by Ellis as Felix Milan comes back to the plate. Milan gets the offering. It's an in-play roll of 85, and that's a ground ball too short. Gene Alley up with it over to Robertson for the 6-3 put out. 2 up and 2 down. Ralph Garr coming to the plate. Garr gets our first defensive check. We're at the bottom of the 6th, and this is our first defensive check. It's going to be an error check on the third baseman, who has an error rating of 4, so he's got pretty good chance for making this play, 1-35, and it's an error put out as Richie Hebner makes the play easily. Route number 3. We go to the 7th inning, 2-1 Pittsburgh. Willie Stargell coming to the plate, 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout is Stargell. It's a patient roll this time. That patient 67 is just a ground ball to third base. Darrell Evans fields it easily, tosses it over to Cepeda, gets the slow-moving Stargell easily by, say, 3 strides, and for out number 1. That brings up Richie Hebner. Hebner 0 for 2 on the day. He gets a tough roll of 85, and that's a ground ball to second. 4-3 put out by Felix Milan. Fields it easily for out number 2. 2 up and 2 down, and Manny Sanguillen coming to the plate. 0 for 2 on the day is Sanguillen. Gets a patient roll of 91, and that's a ground ball too short. Perez up with it for the 6-3 put, and out number 3. And here we go. 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Rico Carty coming to the plate. 0 for 2 on the day is Carty. Ellis pitching well. Here's the pitch from Ellis. It's an in-play roll of 43, and that's the pop-up behind second base. Dave Cash settles underneath it as he waves off Clemente for out number 1. Orlando Cepeda coming to the plate. 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout is Cepeda. Gets a tough roll of 52, and he goes down swinging again. And 2 down, and that brings up Earl Williams. 2 for 2 on the day is Williams, swinging a pretty good bat today. Williams gets an in-play roll of 81, but not this time as he lifts one into center field. Al Oliver settles underneath it for out number 3. And we go to the 8th inning. Pittsburgh 2, Atlanta 1. Bob Robertson coming to the plate for the Pirates. 0 for 2 on the day with 2 strikeouts. He gets an in-play roll this time, a 34, and he just pops it up into shallow right field. Felix Milan settles underneath it for out number 1. That brings up Gene Alley, who's tripled on the day. It's an in-play roll of 42. That's another pop-up as they're swinging hard, but popping it up, and Darrell Evans into fair territory makes the play. 2 up and 2 down. And Doc Ellis coming to the plate. Here's the pitch to Ellis. It's a patient 83, and that's a ground ball too short. Perez up with it for the 6-3 put out. 3 up and 3 down, and we go to the bottom of the 8th, and it's still 2-1 Pittsburgh. Doc Ellis still on the mound. Here's the pitch to Darrell Evans. It's going to be an in-play roll of 77, and that's a fly ball into center field as Evans gets a piece of it, but not enough as it's lazily hit. And that's going to bring the AI manager sends in Dusty Baker to pitch hit for Mike Lum. Significant value improvement available is the explanation. Dusty Baker batting 103 in this replay, batted 323 with 17 home runs in the real world. Doc Ellis into his windup and pitch. It's going to be a tough roll of 63, and that's just a ground ball to third as Dusty Baker cannot get the pitch he needed. That's a 5-3 put out. And who does the manager send in but Hammer and Hank Aaron to pinch hit for Marty Perez? So looking to get some runs across, Hank Aaron steps up, batting 277 in this replay. In the real world, he batted 264 with 33 home runs. Aaron gets the pitch. It's an in-play roll of 28, and Aaron comes in and does get a single. Need to let my dog in. So now we're going to do a still jump check. And the AI manager sends Oscar Brown to pitch hit for Tom Kelly. Bench player offers a .253 value improvement. Aaron will not be running. Jump check failed. Here's the pitch to Oscar Brown. It's a patient 25, and that will be a single. It's a soft blooper into short right field. Runner on first advances 1 base. So runners on first and second with 2 outs. Felix Millan coming to the plate. Can Doc Ellis pitch himself out of this bind? He gets a patient roll of 63, and he gets what he needed, a fly ball lifted into right field, but not enough as Clemente makes the play for out number 3. And we go to the 9th, 2-1 Pittsburgh in this tightly contested game. And Jill Garrido replaces Hank Aaron at shortstop, and Ron Schuler enters the game to pitch. Schuler, he has pitched 9 1/3 innings in this replay. He hasn't allowed a run. He struck out 7 and walked only 2 with a .86 whip. He had a 5-8 record with a 3.67 ERA in the real world. He did have 2 saves in 72. Dave Cash steps up. Here's the pitch from Schuler. It's going to be a ballpark. Again, it's 1-86, and that 62 will be a wheelhouse. Dave Cash does not have much pop to his bat, only a 1 in 4 chance for a home run, but 19-45, it's going to be a hit. And that 69 is just going to be a ground ball to second base. Milan makes the play easily for the 4-3 putout and out number 1. Schuler looking to bear down on Oliver, who has an RBI on the day. It's going to be a patient roll of 69. That's another ground ball hit sharply to short, but Gil Garrido fields it for the 6-3 putout. And that brings up Roberto Clemente. Can he get his bat active here? His last opportunity for day. He's 0 for 3 on the day. And he gets a patient roll of 74, and he just grounds it to second. Felix Millan over to first for the 4-3 putout. And we go to the bottom of the 9th with Pittsburgh up 2-1. And on the mound is Doc Ellis. Can he complete this game? So far, he's allowed 5 hits with only 1 home run, with the only 1 run allowed with a home run by Mike Lum. Ralph Garr steps up 0 for 3 on the day. Here's the pitch to Garr. It's an in-play roll of 75. That's just a ground ball too short for the 6-3 putout and out number 1. That brings up Rico Carty, 0 for 3 on the day, striking out twice. Carty steps up, and he gets a tough roll, and he gets the hat trick, striking out for the 3rd time in the game. Carty's shaking his head as he walks back to the dugout. And we're 1 out away from Atlanta getting upset. I wouldn't say it's upset. The Pittsburgh Pirates eking out a win here in Atlanta. Orlando Cepeda, last chance as Doc Ellis goes into his windup. He gets an in-play roll of 70, and it's just a fly ball lifted into right field. Clemente settles underneath it for out number 3, and that is our ball game. Doc Ellis pitched to Jim a 5-hit, 1-run, striking out 7. So Doc Ellis played a great game to close out Atlanta here in Atlanta Stadium. And what an end to this game. Let's go ahead and close it out. You see in the standings that now will put it Pittsburgh at 10-9, game and a half back. But let's go ahead and sim the rest of these games. We'll import today's games. That's the historical games. Now let's take a gander at the standings. Pittsburgh still 2 games back as Montreal and the Mets both won, and Chicago. All the teams in the National League East won today. And you can see the Pittsburgh Pirates are on a 3-game winning streak. Atlanta in the NL West is 8-14, and they are on a 3-game losing streak. So it seems that Pittsburgh caught Atlanta at just the right time, and that's going to be game for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great day. Enjoy this Tuesday. Give God glory. Soli Deo glory.